Hi everybody, my name is Tony and welcome to Twilightzone 15. In this video, I'd like to review 4 Twilight Zone episodes, as you know, my favorite show. But I also like to read this great story about love. I don't mean to sound corny, but it's of course the best thing in life, you know. We all have somebody we love, and we are all loved by someone. But this story was in a wrestling magazine about Dusty Rhodes, the wrestler, when he won the Antonino Rocca Memorial Award. This was a July 1978 magazine. I have a really old collection, as you can see. This is a magazine. And I would like to read that particular story because it's probably the best story I ever heard of about love, you know. But I like to start off with the reviews. Living Doll. This was a really weird episode, but it was good. You know, I think it was in the 3rd season with Telly Savalas. Most of you know him from Kojak, of course. But anyway, in this episode, he plays, he's with his wife, and he's the stepfather of that, his wife's little girl, his wife's daughter. But in the beginning of the episode, he gets mad because she buys a doll, a talking doll, that's really expensive. But she says, oh, come on, I bought it on credit, this and that. You know, the marriage isn't going really good. And this adds to the problems. But it's like the doll, later on, comes to life, so to speak, you know. Starts saying things she doesn't supposed to say. She's not programmed to say. But only to him. And bad things, you know. It's like the doll develops hate for him also, as he hates the doll. But they don't believe him when he says she's saying those things. You know, she's actually saying those things. So what's going to happen? Does he try to get rid of the doll? Does the doll try to get rid of him? My brother really loves this episode, and he doesn't even like the zone that much. It's called Living Doll. Check it out. 100 Yards Over the Rim is next. It stars Cliff Robertson from the famous Spider-Man movie. Cliff was also in the very first premiere episode of the old Outer Limits, the Galaxy Beam. He was really good in that too, you know. But he starts in the old days, you know. He's going through the desert, and his family's really sick, you know, his kids. So he's trying to find medicine. He's trying to find a better life, but he's moving on, you know. Got to get them the treatment for the kid. So he sees 100 yards over the rim, hence the title. There's a place that's very modern, like today. And he doesn't understand it. He freaks out. In fact, before crossing the street, he actually sees a truck running by. It almost ran him over. He never seen a truck before, you know. This was the days of the horse and carriages. So he's freaking out. He even takes his rifle with him. By the time he comes back, his rifle is actually rusted. How can 100 years pass like that, you know? I mean, how can time pass like that? So there's something going on when he goes after the medicine in the modern age. He has a big tall black hat, and something weird is going on. You got to find out to see the rest of it, you know. Once Upon a Time is next. This was a completely comedy episode in the last season, the 5th season of the Twilight Zone. It stars the late great Buster Keaton, who was also a really famous comedian. But here he plays this derelict, you know, that he kind of stumbles upon a time machine, but it's actually a helmet. A magic helmet that acts just like a time machine. And it's really weird when he goes back in time, and then something goes wrong with the helmet, it breaks. So he takes it to a repair shop, and they got to get it back so he could get back home. Or else he could never go back in time. It's really freaky, man, you know. So check it out, Once Upon a Time. Let's go. Last but not least, The Fever. I really didn't like this episode that much, but it's considered a good episode with Everett Sloan, you know, who's done other stuff. He's done a lot of shows. He's an old-time actor, you know. He's done, what was it? Alfred Hitchcock Presents. He was in that episode about the mannequins. And a lot of other things, you know. But anyway, here he plays a man who never gambles, never likes to gamble either. But his wife won a free trip to Las Vegas. And when he gets there, there's some kind of drunk derelict that gives him a silver quarter. Says, put it in, a silver dollar, put it in there. You get it for free. I'm giving you this dollar. He doesn't want to, but he takes a chance and he wins. As soon as he wins a lot of money, he gets hooked and he goes back. And he does it again and again and again until nighttime, late at night. The security guards don't know what to think of it. You know, they had to actually stop him because in the end, it actually, his quarter gets stuck, you know, when he puts more and more quarters in because he can't win anymore. He only won once. And he's really, really hooked. The opposite of what he really was before. So how is the episode going to end? You'll have to tune in to find out. Alright, that's about it for today now, except for the story that I would like to read. I'm sorry, at my age, starting to get up there already, I can't no longer read without my glasses. I'll read the captions first. Dusty Rhodes is always a big hit when he is interviewed by famed announcer Gordon Soley. Gordon was one of many people who recommended Dusty for this prestigious award. The legendary Antonino Rocca. He was loved by fans wherever he went, just as Dusty is honored these days. In an all-time classic battle, Dusty Rhodes nearly defeated superstar Billy Graham to become WWF champion. Only Graham's cunning saved him from being dethroned. Even though he is still without a belt, Rhodes is adored by wrestling fans all over the world. Rhodes will take any challenge, even a vicious rule breaker like Waldo Von Erich, if that is what the fans want him to do. 3 views of Dusty Rhodes in these pictures. So using his bionic elbow, Dusty smashes superstar Graham, and he foils Buddy Wolf and is hailed as the Superman of the sport. See, certain pictures right here relating to the captions, you know. And now the story. Dusty Rhodes wins the Antonino Rocca Memorial Award. We are pleased to announce the creation of the annual Antonino Rocca Memorial Popularity Award, an honor which is given to the most loved wrestler who never won a world championship. Of course, the winner had to be the one and only Dusty Rhodes, the man whose career has most closely paralleled Rocca's legendary achievements. And it starts off. The tears flowed freely, sincerely, from the large, innocent eyes. He grasped the gold trophy in both hands, as much from gratitude as to calm his shaking hands. No one has any idea how very much this means to me. Dusty Rhodes spoke softly into the silence of the restaurant. He was such an inspiration to me. I just hope I'm worthy of this honor. Rhodes could not go on. His voice choked with emotion. Suddenly, in spontaneous affection, the entire room stood and applauded, restrainedly yet enthusiastically, for the first recipient of the Antonino Rocca Memorial Trophy. When people still stared wonderingly at the 9-inch screen, which would fill with the antics of Lucy and Uncle Milty, the grace and skill of Antonino Rocca was propelling professional wrestling into the solid television status it now enjoys. His popularity was worldwide, yet something always happened to deprive Rocca of a world belt. The editors of this magazine feel it is an injustice to honor only title holders. We felt there had to be an award for the most popular wrestler never to hold a belt. With this in mind, we named the American Dream the first winner of what we feel will become one of the most coveted wrestling awards in years to come. This is what Dusty said, people are going to think I'm saying this just because I won the award. But hell, I've never been one to hold back an opinion I believed in. So before anyone jumps on me and says I have to say something like this, let me assure you that I've expressed this belief before I won the award, and I'll continue to do so even when I become champ. When not if, Rose grinned impishly. The audience in the fashionable Manhattan steakhouse laughed, and they settled back in their chairs. There's a whole lot more to this sport than accumulation of money or the honor of wearing a belt. Like everything else in our society, winning is overblown. You see little kids playing Little League, and they don't have fun anymore. All they want to do is win. Hell, when I played ball, I just wanted to play. It's nice to win, but being happy is the most important thing. Sorry, I don't mean to make a speech, but it seemed like I'm going to. Rose laughed. Rocca produced love among wrestling fans. People really and truly adored him. I know I did. The fact that he never won a belt didn't make him any less of a man or any less of a wrestler, for that matter. Look at all the great writers who never won the Nobel Prize, or the great politicians who never became president. They still did good, right? We didn't have any awards to measure love, do we? We don't. That has to be the single most important thing in life, to love someone. But do we really honor it the way we honor material success? Damn straight we don't. If someone gave me the choice between being a despised brute like Superstar Graham and Harley Race and being champ, or just being plain old Dusty who is loved by everybody, you can bet your grandma's cat that I want people to like me. Shoot, let me tell you a story about something that happened to me in New Orleans a few months ago. I was in this exclusive restaurant with this lady friend of mine. I had made a reservation. You know how I am. I'm waiting at the entrance, and this real big shot corporate president comes in. You'd recognize the name if I thought it would serve any purpose to mention it. I won't. Now this dude has spent his whole life getting ahead. I mean, he's got money coming out of every part of his body. He's a success in every sense of the word. But when it comes to getting someone a table, when it came to giving out autographs, I'm sure you know who they crowded around. The point of this is that the rich dude, the guy who has probably never done anything charitable for anyone, except maybe give money as a tax write-off, was ignored. No one showed him any warmth. Maybe respect, probably fear, but no warmth. When I get into the ring and I hear the fans cheering for me, I know it's because they love me. They just love Dusty Rhodes for what he is and not for how much money he has or how many titles he's won. Dusty's voice dropped to a nearly inaudible whisper. Another thing, my mama, God bless her, always taught me to be kind to people. She said it never made any difference what color they were, or what religion, or how much money they had. She said the most important thing in life is how well you are loved. And by winning this, Rose's voice shattered. He wiped away tears and visibly struggled to regain his composure. And by winning this award, I think I've done justice to her way of life, to my way of life, and to the memory of Antonino Rocca. Thank you very much for this award. You know, no one noticed that the steaks were cold, the broccoli limp, and the potatoes all dried out. The meal became blazing hot, with the affection displayed by the standing ovation given the American dream, Dusty Rhodes. Well, that's about it. I hope you like it. It's a really, really good story. It's in The Wrestler, July 1978. And a sensational story about love, you know. So I hope you like it, and please join me for Tony Zone 16. Until then, don't forget to love God.